This is Faisal Khan for Lights Out in association with Shamrock Boxing, and with me over the phone, I'm delighted to be joined by the English Cruiserweight Champion, Deion Jumah. Deion, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
No, it's always a pleasure getting you on Lights Out. Start off the interview by asking how you're finding all this self-isolation structure that we're under at the moment due to the coronavirus.
Yeah, it's an absolute head fuck, to be honest. You know what? We're dealing with it all right. Just been getting in the training wherever I can, and we're just all you can do is see it through, really, and try your best not to get unfit or lose any type of body strength in the meanwhile. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Eating well as well, and yeah, that's it.
We've never experienced this lockdown that we're under at the moment, whether that's the right word to use for it. But what's your take on this whole coronavirus situation, and now that we're under a lockdown?
My take on it is the sooner everyone does as they're told, the sooner everyone, well, as many people as we can get locked in, the sooner we can tackle this virus. So that's my take on it. I think if anyone's going out and they shouldn't be, I think they're being pretty selfish, or maybe they're uneducated on the matter. Not that I'm very educated on it, but obviously the more you're out, the more you're spreading, and just because it's not affecting you, it can affect a lot of other people. So yeah, I think the sooner everyone follows protocol, the better for everyone.
You know, I mean, obviously, it's difficult because a lot of people are used to a daily routine where they're either going to work or they're out doing something. You yourself, you know, on a daily routine are at the gym, you know, staying in shape. But now, obviously, that's not with the gyms being closed, with all boxing facilities being closed at the moment. What are you doing to keep yourself in shape and to keep yourself fit for when this lockdown does end and when you can get back into the ring?
Mainly, I've been going back to old school training. Like, all fighters will know how to do that, because at one stage or other, they weren't trained by a coach. Well, you got coached at the amateur gym, but most of the work you do has to be from your own initiative. When you're an amateur, you had to be out on the roads running, you had to be doing your body weight exercises. No one was telling you what to do or how to do it. You found your own way and used what works for you. So I've been doing like a lot of exercises that I haven't been doing for years, spending a lot of time on my own, plenty of shadow, and yeah, just remaining healthy, and yeah, there's still ways of challenging yourself just because you're not at a gym, not just exercises, but just the way you live your life. This sport is all about discipline, and if you can find different ways to exercise that, I feel like you keep that mental strength going.
I'm glad to hear that you're keeping us in shape, Dion, and obviously it's been you started off the year well on January the 19th, going into Sam Hyde's back garden and defending your English Cruiserweight title, winning by unanimous decision. From what I've heard, it was a very, very good fight. Firstly, just talk to us about your performance and what was it like being the defending champion and having to go to Sam Hyde's backyard and defending your title.
My performance, okay, so we weren't looking for a pretty performance at all. Me and Gary had ideas of how we should be winning this fight, and Sam Hyde did a very good pressing, come forward fighter. So we wanted to diminish that by throwing with him and trying to take away his confidence, letting him know that you can't just press against me. Yeah, I'm a boxer, but I'm not just going to back off when you want to. And it worked. Also, we had a crowd to fight as well.
Yeah.
So I just feel like whenever Sam's throwing something, Sam's going to get a cheer. If I keep backing off all the time, even if I'm scoring more points, it's not going to look good. It's not like it's on that Eddie Hearn show where there's loads of cameras and people can see what's going on. I'm at a hall show where where I know they wasn't. They were very fair to me, but we were afraid that a close fight could possibly lead to a robbery. You know, so it was important to stay on top of every round, or even the rounds we were going to lose. We had to make them as close as possible. You know, so yeah, the game plan went exactly the way we wanted.
You've done very well for yourself since that night. I remember you beat Aussie Jerva at York Hall, winning your first title, the Southern Area title, and since that, you've
Yeah.
a wonderful performance against Wadi Camacho at the back end of 2019. You're ranked third in the UK now. What's next for Deion Jumah, especially being a part of such an exciting division domestic-wise in terms of the cruiserweight division?
Next for me, Richard Riakphore has the British title. I won the British title Eliminator. So next for me should be Richard Riakphore. It's a fight I'm very, very, very confident of winning. I just know that I'm totally wrong for him. I've got too much boxing IQ for him, and I've watched him plenty, and I find it hard to find something to particularly rate or fear. So it's a fight, that I'm looking forward to. I'm going to be the one to really do a serious job on him.
Every time I've spoken to you, I've interviewed you after your fights, you've always spoken about the Riakphore fight,
Hello?
Hi there, can you hear me, Deion? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah,
Start
perfect.
again.
Every time I've spoken to you after we've done interviews after your fights, you've spoken about the Riakphore fight, the Okolie fight. Why do you think these fights, the likes of Riakphore and Okolie aren't, answering your invitation to a fight? Why do you think they're not willing to accept you as an opponent?
Well, I think Riakphore isn't saying anything because he's injured. I think it's as simple as that. So I'm hoping when his arm gets better, that he will be talking about it. Okolie does not want none of me, like at all. He knows that I've been onto him from the beginning. I remember I met him when I first came back into boxing. I told him I'm coming for him, and that we should be fighting within the next 2 years. 2 years is gone now. He's fought, in my opinion, mediocre opposition at British level, and now he thinks he can go on to world level. I actually think Richard Riakphore's had a better go of the British scene and fought much better fighters. But this is I don't know. This is how it is. Like, a lot of fighters will end up thinking they're better than they are. Like, Okolie thinks he's a bit of a celebrity, but I don't think he hasn't done anything. He's got the most dog shit style I've ever seen in my life. He doesn't impress anyone. No one wants to see him, and he's going off to world level. Do you know what I mean? Saying that he's fought everyone at British level, but I've been calling him out from the off. I've been calling him out from as soon as after he fought Chamberlain. So yeah, I think he's a difficult opponent. Yeah. But that is a challenge that I know I want, and I know I will overcome. So why they don't mention anything about me is simply why he doesn't mention anything about me is simply that he doesn't want to give me the opportunity. It's as simple as that.
It makes for great fights. You just mentioned Riakphore, Okolie. There's also Billum Smith in there as well, Michael Lowell. Tommy McCarthy as well in this division. It's an exciting division. Would you say right now the cruiserweight division is back where it needs to be and it's exciting as ever, especially in terms of British domestic wise?
The cruiserweight division is one of the most exciting divisions in the UK right now. It's exciting worldwide as well. It's just the styles of the different fighters and how you can mix and match them. And I feel like a lot of these fights will be pretty close. So these fights need to be made sooner rather than later. Basically, I don't see no reason why a lot of these domestic fights shouldn't be happening, because a lot of fighters, for example, you see Okolie's going to world level. There's talks of Richard going to world level. They haven't cleaned up over here. There's still good fights here, and why not make them? British boxing is at the highest point it's ever been.
Hmm.
So why not make these fights here?
It'd be great fights to see, and hopefully at some point in the future we'll see you in the ring with the likes of a Riakphore or an Okolie. The massive 50-50 fights and the fights that the British public are demanding. Before we end the interview, Deion, just want to ask: is there anything you'd like to add?
Um, Nothing much. Just to anyone who's followed me, who's supported me, who's been believing in me, because it's been a tough road, and I'm happy to be now amongst it. Won that British title eliminator, so I can't wait to prove that I am the best cruiserweight in this country, and I've believed it for years, and it's that time now.
Really admired the your ambitions into gaining every belt. You've done very well for yourself. Just wanted to thank you for your time. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to get you over the phone. We know obviously face-to-face interviews are out of the question right now, so hopefully once we're out of this coronavirus situation, we'll be doing a face-to-face with you down in London at some point.
Soon come, definitely. I'm here whenever.
Not a problem. Deion Jumah, thank you very much for your time. Keep yourself safe, and we look forward to speaking to you soon.
And you, mate. Thank you.
Thank you for talking to Lights Out.
All right. Anytime. Bye bye.